Hi, this is Remembering the Past, the show where we talk about people who've died recently who've had a profound effect on our history, our society, or our culture. Tonight we're going to start out with Sy Berger, who died recently at the age of 91, nice Jewish boy from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Sy Berger was the man who was revered by generations of boys and reviled by generations of mothers because he was the marketing genius behind Topps baseball cards. He worked for Topps for over 50 years. He helped develop the style of the cards, the art of the cards, the statistics on the backs of the cards. He turned essentially what was a simple hobby into what's today a multi-million-dollar industry. I don't even know who owns Topps today. There were baseball cards before the 1950s, but largely due to the baby boomers, they took off in the 50s, largely on the backs of Sy Berger and Woody Gelman in a little apartment on Alabama Avenue in Brooklyn. An interviewer talks with Sy Berger at the end of his life about Topps baseball cards, including the destruction of a large batch of 1952 cards in 1960, and that 52 card collection no doubt contained a lot of 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie cards, one of the most valuable cards ever printed.
Sy Berger. Sy is commonly referred to as the father of the modern-day baseball card. In the earliest days, Sy planted the seeds and laid the groundwork for a hobby that is now enjoyed by millions.
In 1951, Bowman has exclusive rights to use trading cards with gum.
Yes.
So you have a big problem on your hands. You can't put cards with gum. So what do you do?
This thing, pictures, was something else. The something else was taffy, which is made the same way as gum.
Huh.
But we had a calamity.
Okay, so 1951, a tough year for Topps. You try sticking taffy in trading cards. It doesn't work. The odor when you open a pack is overwhelming. It's a tough time. But now we come to 1952. And I think 52 is where Sy Berger's legend is born. It's really what I believe is when the true modern-day trading card is born, and I give you credit. But tell me about the 52 trading card.
No one had ever seen what I see on a baseball card or any card with the logo of the team.
So up until 1952, there was never a card that had a team logo on it.
That's it.
So you decide you want to put the team logo on there.
So
you're saying you thought about your Lefty Gomez days of wanting autographs. Is that what inspired you to put the autograph on the cards?
And I says, make this distinctive. We'll have the autographs. It's just something, with stars around.
So what you thought made this card special was a little bit bigger, the player's name, and an autograph presented very nicely. You thought that was important.
Yes.
And you wanted the player to be very visible so a kid could actually relate to the player. But then, which I think is really more important, is the card back. And from your take, there were three key elements to a card back.
Yeah.
There was the player's bio.
Correct.
The height, the weight, the position.
Sure. That's right.
Then there was a little story about the player.
As best you could, yeah.
And then the statistics.
The statistics are easy to get, but they're easy to get. You don't know whose statistics you're working with. I went to Sporting News. I went to the newspaper. And lo and behold, everybody had different statistics. I computed, did my best.
You computed? You're saying you did the statistics?
I recomputed what I knew about the player. We had the last year and lifetime, and we didn't have the year, the name. Why? Because maybe if this thing was a dud, how are we going to get rid of the cards?
So you're telling me on the 52 Topps, where you put the stats, you said last year in life, you didn't put the year because you wanted to keep selling them in case they didn't catch on?
Yeah.
Talk to me about the 54 design. What is it that you like about the 54 design?
Well, we had all the things on, logo, and I like the idea of having the hats. But I says, why can't we have two pictures on the card? The head, so you really recognize them, and an action shot.
What was the reaction you got when you presented that idea?
No. And I fought, and I guess I convinced them.
1957, we go to the now traditional 2.5 by 3.5 trading card, which has stuck for many, many years. Tell me about it.
Well, it was one simple thing. If we took that down from the 2 5/8 to 2.5, we could get another row on the print and give us 12 more cards on a sheet for the same price.
What do you think about the modern day cards where you can open up a pack of cards and you can get an autograph card right in the packs or a piece of a jersey right inside the packs?
Well, that's just a tool, marketing. If it helps me sell more of my product, yeah.
You're now 1960.
Yeah.
You got 100 cases or whatever.
Yeah. We're making a lot of other products.
Yeah.
Our company's a better and bigger company, but we got no more space.
So where do you go to sell it? What do you do? How are you going to move these cards?
What are you going to do?
So you got 2 truckloads of 52 tops, and you need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And you don't trust the incinerator.
They have the tugboats, but they got a thing the size of a room.
A barge?
A barge.
So you load this barge with 2 truckloads of 52 tops.
And they got the barge. If they pull a thing open, they open the middle. Everything falls in.
You're in the Atlantic Ocean.
And
you pull the
there's a rusty lever in the heart, and it had like an iron railing. The guy goes, and they hold it all. And there it was.
Bet a lot of mothers wish they had that barge to get rid of their sons' baseball cards. We're going to move on now to Ernie Terrell, who died recently at the age of 75. Ernie Terrell was a nice African-American boy born in the Delta, but he migrated and he became one of Chicago's very own. And he was the WBA champion for a while in the mid-60s. He lost the title to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali had been stripped of the title. WBA didn't like his politics. He changed his name from Cassius Clay, became a black Muslim. WBA had a round robin tournament. Ernie Terrell won it. He was the champion for a while, and in February 1967, here's the famous weigh-in with Howard Cosell promoting the bout and himself.
I am surrounded at the moment by 2 massive men. The gentleman to my left has just told me that he is the only man in the world that Muhammad Ali is afraid of. The gentleman to my left has to be Ernie Terrell. To my right is the author of a great new poem. He is the heavyweight champion of the world. He pretends that he will have an easy time of it February 6th at the Houston Astrodome. And he begins today by reading that poem. Champ?
Did you want to hear the poem now, Howard?
Absolutely.
Well, hold Ernie.
You frightened, Ernie?
I don't believe you can read. At the sound of the bell, Terrell will catch hell. Ernie Terrell thinks he's a championship fighter, but when he meets me, he'll fall 20 pounds lighter. He may come into the ring looking awful neat, but if he's not cool, they'll carry him out by his feet. He's going around calling himself the real heavyweight champ, but when the fights start, he'll look like a tramp. I'm not saying this just to be funny, but I'm fighting Ernie because he needs the money. I'm really going to help him make a little bread, but the catch is, I must whip your head. I don't want to be a drag, and I'm not here to brag, but it's your jaw I'm out to tag. I hear you want to stand toe-to-toe, and with me trade blow for blow. But if you hip, you'll take a dip, because I'm out to bust your lip. So when the fight fans come to the fight, be cool, don't run. I guarantee the fight will go over 1. And after the fight, Terrell, you will know you was in a scuffle, because you cannot master the double clutch shuffle.
All right, Ernie, he now makes his verbal report.
I'm sure that Shakespeare must have turned over in his grave when he heard that.
You continue to be unafraid of it.
Yeah, I'd like to say something right here. Cassius Clay, yes. Why do you want to say Cassius Clay when Howard Cosell and everybody is calling you Muhammad Ali? Then why you got to be the one of all people whose color to keep saying Cassius Clay? Howard Cosell is not the one who's going to fight you. I am. You making it really hard on yourself now. Why don't you keep the thing in the sport angle? Why don't you call me my name, man? Well, what's your name? You told me your name was Cassius Clay a few years ago. I never told you my name was Cassius Clay. My name is Muhammad Ali, and you will announce it right there in the center of that ring after the fight if you don't do it now. You just acting just like an old Uncle Tom. Another Floyd Patterson. I'm going to punish you. You ain't got no back off of me. Don't call me no Uncle Tom. That's what you are, Uncle Tom. Why are you going to call me Uncle Tom? You heard me. Just back off of me.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the 2 contestants prepare for battle right now,
back off of me, man. Back off of me, man.
Another interview has been recorded for posterity as the 2 gentlemen continue to promote the fight. Perfect, that's it. Come on.
Keep shooting.
Actually, it was a fairly complex dynamic. Ernie Terrell was actually a very nice guy. He had known Ali as Cassius Clay when they hung out together as boxers in Chicago, and I don't think he and his entourage were comfortable with some of Ali's entourage, who were fairly rough characters. Terrell had a good sense of humor, was an excellent singer, and he had a little band, and he went on Hollywood Palace before the fight and did this rendition.
Won't you come home, dear Cassius? Won't you come home? I've trained to hold you through. Are you afraid, Mohammed? Are you afraid of what I'll do to you?
The fight was on February 6, 1967 in the Astrodome.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the match you have all been waiting for, the championship of all championships, to decide once and for all the championship of the world. Introducing first your WBA champion in this corner from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 212 1/2 pounds, Ernie Terrell.
Self-evident.
From Louisville, Kentucky, now making his home in Houston, Texas, the heavyweight
How is the
champion
crowd
of the world
reaction for Ali?
at 212
Self-evident.
1/4 pounds, Muhammad Ali.
Well, Terrell fought a good fight, but the problem was while he had the reach, Ali had the speed.
As you can see, an overwhelming,
Undisputed,
unanimous decision
I repeat, the
for
undisputed
the
champion
champion.
of the world, Muhammad Ali.
Ernie, I wonder if you'd come over here for just a moment. You know you've lost this fight before the verdict.
Well, not tell a verdict. He did an awful lot of power. He took my eye and rubbed it against the top rope, and I was seeing two of them. I couldn't know which one to jab at. So that's why I was wild. The first couple of rounds was the way I planned. But then he took my eye and rubbed it against the top rope. I was seeing three of them from the third round on.
Would you want another crack at him?
Certainly.
You still hate this man?
I don't hate the man as a fighter. I still dislike what he represents and what he said. It's unnecessary. It's not in sports, and he shouldn't bring it in. I respect all fighters for ability, but not for nonsense.
Ernie, I want to say this to you. You've shown great dignity throughout the recent weeks and great courage. My congratulations to you.
Again, Ernie Terrell was a nice, dignified guy, and you don't hear enough about that casual cruelty that Ali demonstrated in the early days. He modulated over the years, but in the early days he could be a cruel guy as he was with Floyd Patterson and with Terrell.
One more quick question. Did you carry Terrell? Could you have knocked him out?
No, I don't believe I could have. I had a couple opportunities to knock him out, but he was so determined. He's a diehard. I didn't realize he could take as much punishment as he did. After the 8th round, I laid on him, but I found myself tired, and I saw that he wasn't ready to go. I knew that I had 15 rounds to go, so I had to slow up and pace myself and take him on points. And I think this proves to the public and all of the doubters out there that Ernie Terrell has no class whatsoever, and you cannot compare him even in my
I don't think you have to say that, really. The man fought a courageous fight.
It's interesting, most of Terrell's obits played him up as the bad guy and Ali as the good guy, but I could definitely make a case it was the other way around. One other interesting thing about Ernie Terrell, he was a good singer, as was his sister. In fact, his sister was so good, she took over for Diana Ross when Diana Ross left the Supremes, left us with this great classic, which I played before.
Come with me, we shall run across the sky and illuminate the night. To the roof where we can see heaven much better. Come on, to the roof where we can be closer to heaven.
It was written by Frank Wilson, whose podcast we've done. I'm going to close on that note. I want to thank my producer and tech genius, Sid Tepps. And we're going to close with another great song Ernie Terrell's sister Jean sang in 1970 with the Supremes after Diana left, Stoned Love.
Stone